actually real quick. Now that I've asked that of you guys, now let's go into the training. All right, let's just go ahead and get started. So what we're going to be talking about today is probably one of the most exciting topics that is in all of trading. And I know most people are like, nah, bro, this ain't exciting, but it is exciting, okay? Risk management is exciting because it's the most important skill set that you need to learn from the very beginning. This is the foundation brick. You need to put it into your business. You need to understand it because it will dramatically increase the results of your trading journey and dramatically decrease the pain that you experience as a trader, okay? For those of you who decide not to apply these risk management techniques, I'm just going to say to you that there is a chance that through the learning curve of our journey of trading that there's going to be some pain involved, okay? Now, for those of you who don't like pain or want to reduce the pain as much as possible, then just go ahead and apply what it is that we're talking about and you're going to be in good shape, okay? So I'm aware within our academy that we have multiple types of students, okay? We have FRX students, we have DCX students, we have HFX students. So for what I'm going to share with you, just so you guys can have this in your head, the FRX and DCX students are going to fall into the same category of leverage trading. Risk management is going to be similar. It's going to be the same. You're just going to have to adjust on how you count pips if you're trading crypto versus if you're trading GJ, okay? But the same concept works. And then we have our HFX Academy, and that sort of risk management is slightly different, and it's an easier thing to calculate because you can do it instantly. It's very fast and very easy to do, all right? So what I'm going to do is the very first thing I want to do always is I want you to understand that my sole purpose is to get you to use your academy more. And because the educators that we have within the academy are absolutely fantastic and world-class, and that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for Andre English sessions. You're paying to come learn from Curtis. You're paying to come learn from Crypto Picasso. You're paying to come learn from these guys. So the first thing we're going to do is walk you through where you can find risk management from the experts in your academy, okay? That's the very first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We'll go ahead and pull up, and we're going to go ahead and go to im.center, and we're just going to go ahead and log into this bad boy. Now you look. Okay, so now that we're in the academy, the first thing you're going to do is pretty much every academy, some of the videos within the academy, there's going to be some conversation on risk management. There's going to be some conversation on compounding. You just need to go through the regular videos and watch all the videos in your academy, period. You'll have that conversation in the videos, okay? One thing about of note that I will say is that if you are a DCX Academy student, you actually have two different academies. One, when you click on the first one, is teaching you the digital currency exchange. That's the Exchange Academy. So that's really for those of you who are building out your portfolios. And then over here, when you click on this, which most people ignore, is the Digital Currency Leveraged Academy. And when you pull through there, it's going to actually walk you through a bunch of the videos that are in the FRX Academy that teach you about trading, okay? So for those of you who are like, man, I watched the videos over here you know, on the Exchange Academy on DCX, and I can't figure out how to use MetaTrader for the pips, the trade, all that type of stuff. Is because you haven't clicked on the Leverage Trading Academy, which is going to give you access to these first 16 videos as well from the FRX Academy, all right? So now, once you have that done, now you understand that, let's go ahead and actually go to our Go Live sessions, because now you're going to go to Go Live and you're going to have access to your educators, okay? So let's just go ahead and start. We're going to clear this one up first. We're going to clear up HFX Academy. HFX, you click on it, and there's going to be a couple different people that you can go to. Number one, If you go on to Evan Cabral, he is the person who teaches the majority of the HFX Academy. You also have Ness Vasquez. These guys do talk a lot about, especially Evan, about risk management. But the other place you can go real quick, just to kind of get a quick overview, is Millie Mills. And if you come into Millie Mills and go to her favorited sessions, the sessions that go on plan for your first 6 figures, how to compound your account, those are dealing with compounding and a little bit of risk management. You can also come here and you can go down to Dr. Josh Lee and Brandon Boyd. And when you go through their sessions, you're going to have to scroll through it. But back, I believe in like November, they had a session that was on risk management. All right. For sake of time, I'm not going to be able to. Here's one right here. They just did another one. HFX price action, the compound effect, and risk management. They just did this one. The date of that session was 1/26/21. So if you're an HFX student, it's right here. The great thing about them is all of their stuff is labeled exceptionally well. Okay. So there you go. There's a risk management conversation. So now you have people within HFX talking to you specifically about risk management, and you can use that to your advantage. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the HFX side of things in 1 second because we can clear that up really fast. But while I'm still here on the Go Live side of things, let's also go ahead and look at some other places that you can go. The DCX Academy. All right, I want you to come down to our man Curtis Cobain. I want you to go to his favorited sessions. Now, what I will tell you real quick, for everybody in the DCX Academy, before you jump into anything, the very first thing you should do on day 1 when you register in the Academy, you're not going to understand even all the videos. Before you go into anything, the first thing you want to watch is mandatory crypto security right here. Crypto Security 101. The reason is because he's going to give you some information, in particular, creating an account with Proton Mail. Proton Mail is going to allow you to have a much more secure email, and it'll also allow you to have other accesses and other features. And from there, you can be able to use it to sign up for all your other accounts, your exchanges, your other stuff. So if we were talking about risk management, this isn't the risk management of trading. This is the risk management of how to protect your crypto assets that you're going to buy. So that's number 1, okay? Second thing is you're going to come in and you're going to watch the best risk management class ever, okay? He's got it labeled right here. And there's another strong class on risk management. And more importantly, it's also going to talk to you about how to calculate ROIs and stuff like that. Very good class, very good session. So the 2 of those are going to allow the crypto person to protect their portfolio, manage the actual cyber risk of your portfolio, having it stolen, and then actually talk to you about the risk management of how to do leverage trading. Both of those are in place, okay? Is that making sense to everybody? Y'all with me so far? Throw some ones in the chat if you're with me.
Yes.
All right. Next, you can come on in here to the HFX or FRX session, and especially for our people who are elite customers, elite students, you can come on in here. You can click on Lee Allen. Lee Allen, in her favorited sessions, also has a very quick 20-minute video on risk management and how to calculate stop loss, etc. All right. Now, if you are an elite customer, then one of the other things that you can do that is really going to give you some tremendous value on this particular topic is you can go down here and you can scroll down and you can click on DeLorean. It's going to pull up your DeLorean educators. You're going to go to Patrick Kinney, click on Patrick Kinney, go to his favorited sessions. We're actually in a thing here. We're going to go to his favorited sessions, and you will see down here how to be 37% accurate and still profit, how to calculate position size. These right here are dealing with risk management. and you can actually see on boot camp day 2, it literally says risk management. He's going over slides on that, okay? So those are going to give you a high level education on risk management, all right? So does everybody feel comfortable of how to negotiate the site and how to find those just basic things? You're going through the different educators, and you're going into Go Live, and you're going to be able to find them based on whatever academy that you're in so that you can manage your risk, okay? So that gives you kind of the overall structure, all right? Second thing is, let's go ahead and start now applying this to ourselves, all right? The very first thing that you need to understand as a trader is that your number one goal as a trader is not to be in profit. Your number one goal as a trader is not to lose money, okay? The number one goal is to protect your capital. And if you understand that, it's going to be a game changer for you, okay? You're protecting your capital. So when we begin to trade, we want to not just trade willy-nilly, okay? Now, when the person brought you in and said, hey, listen, did they tell you stuff like, we're not gambling, we follow strategy, we do this type of stuff, right? That's what they told you as they began to bring you in, as you began to feel comfortable, because a lot of people aren't comfortable trading. Can I do this on my own? And so what happens is, that is true. But what happens to the normal person is they get started in this thing, and then they just start trading. They just start going. They get excited. You know why they get excited? Because nothing happens in life until you get excited. In fact, you wouldn't be here if your parents didn't get excited, okay? So getting excited is something that is necessary in order to do it. But what happens is, we want to get excited the proper way, okay? We want to get excited the proper way. So what we want to do is get you guys trading with a plan. So the first thing, we got to understand our goal is to protect our capital. What's the second thing? The second thing is, we trade with a plan, right? We trade with a plan. So you should have some form of trading plan and have it written out. That means, listen, if I'm an HFX student, I am going to follow these rules. The rule says I'm going to only risk 2% of my account on any one trade. If I lose 5% in a day, I stop trading. If I make 8% in a day, I stop trading, right? That's what Cash Trap says. Then there's the rules of Cash Trap. How many points do I need? What strategy am I following? And therefore, you have that written down. You understand, this is my trading plan. Then you have a goal for how much I'm going to make in the market each day. Now you're coming to this thing set up and prepared to win. You're not willy-nilly. You're not just pressing the button. You're not just taking a trade, right? You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're treating it like it's your future. How many of us have got hindsight where we've gone through our life and we said, man, if I would have known something then, I would have fixed this, or I would have done this differently, or I would have done that, right? Well, now you know. I'm giving you the clue so that this time you don't have to go back and fix it. This time you can fix it before you have to fix it, which means you never have to fix it going forward. Does that make sense? And so that's what I want you guys to get out of that. So having that plan, right, is so important. Most people, what they do is they do this. They say, my goal is 6 figures. And I know I can't get there unless I start trading. So they begin trading, and they're doing this, and they're going up and down, back and forth, right? It's very similar to me saying, my goal is to go from Texas to Orlando. And then I just start walking, right? That's the similar. I'm headed east, but I could be going north. I could be like, I ain't got no compass. I ain't got a map. I'm just walking, right? So having the trading plan is going to allow you to get to where you're going, where you want to go faster, because you have a route that's planned out on how to get there, okay? All right. So with HFX, I ran through a couple of the things, and I'll show you this real quick. It's very simple math or anything that you could do. I thought I connected you, Bernard. You're in. Good. Perfect. So with HFX, it's real simple. You're going to want to risk 2% of your account on a trade. Okay, this is HFX. So how that is easy math. If I have a $100 account, what's 2%? Everybody tell me what 2% is in the chat. If I have a $100 account, what's 2% of my account? Throw it in the chat. $2. Thank you, Natifa. $2. Perfect. So that means that trade, I'm going to take a $2 trade. Now let's show you, let's go ahead and show you what we have here. Let's go to an HFX broker. Let's pull up one right now. The pocket option is usually easiest. Come on, pop up. Let's go. Internet. Let's work. Okay. So if I was trading AUD CAD, I click here, and that trade, that thing right now is paying me out 56%, which means for every dollar that I trade, if I won the trade, I would win 56 cents. Okay. So that's probably not a ratio that I want to be involved in when it comes to trading. I want to try to stay 70 or 80%. So if I were here trading Euro CAD at 70%, that means every dollar that I trade, I would be at what? 70 cents, right? So if I traded, let's do this real fast, guys. If I took a 2% position and I traded $2 on Euro CAD right now, and I won the trade, how much profit would I make? $1.40. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what's going to happen is you've now made $1.40, or you grew your account by how much? 1.4%. 1.4%. If I took 2 of those trades and won, how much now did I grow my account by? 2.8%. Okay. So I'm going to show you why that's significant in a second. I'm going to try to get through all this tonight, but 2.8% is an incredible number to be able to grow your account over time. You guys will be fired up and excited about what that means. Okay. So now that we have an idea of what we're talking about here on that side of things, now we have to address the DCX side of things. Okay, now we have to address how do we count pips, what's going on, and how do we understand this. Okay, so on our DCX side, our leverage trading side, for most of us, hopefully we have a larger starting balance. Okay, I'm just be honest with you. Crypto moves fast. Okay, crypto moves fast. And so for us to understand that, that means that just as fast as we can make money, we can lose it. Okay. So what we want to be able to understand is that we only want to risk a certain amount of money per trade. We only want a certain amount of our money at risk at any one time. Okay. So on average, that's probably about 3% of your account. Okay. So if I'm trading crypto, I have $1,000 account. What is 3% of $1,000? $30, right? It's $30. Now, if I am trading a 0.01 lot size, and every dollar that Bitcoin moves is 1 pip, how many pips does that give me before I reach $30? Okay, the answer would be 300. Perfect, Latifa, you're nailing it. Okay, 300. So that means that if I am on Swipecoin and I'm looking at a trade, I need to analyze the stop loss based on my account and see if it's something that I should be involved in. Does that make sense? Let me show you what I mean. Okay. If Bitcoin, Swipecoin calls an entry price at 54,000. It has a TP of 56,000. And it has a stop loss and we're in a buy, by the way. We're in a buy. It has a stop loss of 53,800. Now, I have a $1,000 account, which means technically if I'm following the rules to a T, I can risk $30. That's my risk. Okay? So in this scenario, if I was trading a 0.01 lot size, which I should be trading, if I had that scenario happening, what would happen is if price went down in the negative and hit my stop loss, that means I would lose how much? $20. Okay? Because that's 200 pips less than my entry price. That means this is a trade that I could take. Okay? This is a trade that I could take and I should take. No matter how many times it hits my stop loss, I should take the trade technically, because the trade has a good risk to reward ratio. I'm doing the right thing and I'm following my rules. Now, here's what happens. If this same trade had a stop loss instead and it was 53,000, that means if the trade hits my stop loss, I'm risking 10% of my account. That's tough. That's tough. You don't want to do that, especially when you're new and you're starting out. Blowing 10% of your account, 20% of your account, 30% of your account is important. Is not good. That's what I mean. It's not good. It's important not to do that. Now, we had a beautiful example of why understanding this stop loss is so important. We had a beautiful example. Why trading without a stop loss is financial suicide was a perfect example, was shown to us just this past weekend. The market did it for us. It showed it to us. When did it show it to us? Well, let's go and let's go check it out. Let's go check it out live, so you don't think Andre's making stuff up. Nyla, you got to turn that down, baby. Okay. I love listening to your wonderful children's stuff because you're my daughter, but the rest of the world don't want to hear it. All right. You got to turn that down. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and look at what happened this past weekend. Now we're actually on a chart, right? We're looking at what happened. Let's look at, say, Ethereum. All right. Ethereum USD. Okay. Let's look at the 1 hour. Does anybody see this big candle right here? Does anybody see this big old candle right here? Okay. Now that candle, how much did that move? Well, it moved from 1962 to 1791. It moved almost 2,000 pips into the negative. Now, if you would have been someone trading without a stop loss, and you would have been in a trade, let's say for a buy, okay, and you were expecting to go into buy, and you're trading with a lower account, $250, $500, especially like a $250 account, you would have probably got margin called on that trade. Because what would have happened is, even though price did come back up and correct, and you would have probably even gone into a little bit of profit, you didn't give yourself an opportunity to take advantage of that because it moved too far in the negative and the broker closed your account out. Or you closed your account out because you panicked, because all of a sudden your $250, you've lost $180, you close your account out and you're like, this doesn't work. Okay? So what you want to be doing is you always want to use a stop loss. You could have got stopped out at a different point over here. You could have come back in. You could have read the chart or understood something, realized that this pullback was happening. This candle opened up. You could have re-entered and rode it back the other way and made back up the money that you lost and still gone in profit. But you have to give yourself the opportunity to get stopped out so that you can re-enter at the proper time rather than blowing your account. Does everybody see? That's a live example of the market pulling back exceptionally fast, and all of a sudden, boom, your capital is gone. Now that was on the 5 minute. If we broke it down further, we could probably see exactly how long that move actually was on some of the other candles. Here's a big move on Bitcoin right here. 56,000, pulled back to 53,000, over 2,000 pips, just like that. Okay? So this is where people say trading is risky. It's because they're not using risk management. If we use risk management, we're protecting ourselves. Does everybody understand what I just showed them? All right? Are we clear? We understand that? Okay. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to understand now is why it's okay to not have to get ridiculous gains in the market. Okay? Why is it okay to not have to get ridiculous gains in the market? I've done this before. I showed it to you guys before. Yeah, people still don't listen. It's okay. I understand. I understand it's tough. But let me ask you something, like real talk, right? If I told you beforehand that you were going to be able to take $100 and in the next 3 years you would be able to turn it into 7 figures, maybe 4 if we're lucky, would y'all have been willing to accept that time period? But we're not talking about trading. If I told you, if I went to you, V, if I went to you, Christy, if I went to you, Julie, and I said, we're going to take $100 and in 4 years it's going to be $1 million, would y'all have been happy with that time period? So why, when we come into trading, do all of a sudden we need to make $1 million in the first 6 months? Why do we have FOMO? Because we see other people posting their results in the chat and you see their profit and you're like, something's not happening right. Without knowing that those people been in the business for 3 years trading. In the first 2 years, they lost $10,000 and you didn't know that part, right? So what I want you to understand is that the moment you start this process, you are on the way to wealth. But you've got to get this. You've got to get this. Compound interest is a sacred principle. It's one of the most powerful principles. But the way compounding works is it has to be divided by time. You've got to give it time to compound. Okay? I don't know what it is about the first time you see your trade go blue and you see 1 cent turn to $32 that all of a sudden you feel like you should be able to outperform Warren Buffett. I don't know what it is, but it happens to everybody. All of a sudden you're like, man, listen, I don't know what these jokers been doing the last 70 years, but I'm going to kill this thing, right? That's what happens. And you don't even know that you're greedy. But inside that little heart, there's a little greed monster that says, you know what? I'm going to move this stop loss. You know what? I'm going to move it because I know my trade is right. I'm going to move it. I know they gave me a stop loss that said 200 pips, but I'm going to go ahead and move it to 300 pips because it's moving down, but I look at the stochastic and I see it's about to turn. Oh, you know what? It's getting close to 300 pips. I'm going to move it to 400 pips. You're so greedy, you don't want to be wrong. Right? And now all of a sudden you're focusing on that trade and you're not allowing the market to dictate what's happened and you're going to get yourself caught out there. So what I want you to do is follow the rules. Now, here's the thing. Let me just say this real quick. Naila, you can use this now, babe. Go ahead. You can call mommy. What I want to say real quick is what I'm about to show you is one account, okay? One account. We have to have one account where we follow the rules. It's right over there. If you want to be aggressive in another account, go ahead and do that. Okay? Go ahead and do that. If you have another account where you want to be a little more aggressive, maybe you want to, put your stop loss at, 8% or whatever it is, go ahead and do that. But you have to have one account that you follow the rules, because I've been doing this now long enough that I know that people that don't follow the rules, this is their trading journey. Let me go ahead and y'all can't even see that. Let me go ahead and get it so that you can see it. I don't want y'all to miss out on this. This is their trading journey. Oh, I'm up, I won. Oh, I lost. Up. And all you see is the post of the win. You didn't see none of the loss, right? And then up, down, up, down. And what happens is over the course of time, they've been in for a year and they're basically at break even because all they've been doing is treading water. Okay? And what I'm trying to tell you is that if you don't do this, even though your growth incrementally might be a little slower, what's going to happen is by the end of the year, you're going to be in two totally different places from a person who doesn't use this information and the person who does. Now, how many of us were on our Legacy Worldwide? We all just finished reading the Slight Edge, right? What does the Slight Edge tell you? Is this a little bit, a little bit, a little bit? And at the end of a course of time, we're so far separated from each other that it's not even close. That's what this is, okay? That's what this is. So watch this. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take you to my favorite place in the world, the compound calculator. What do we use the compound calculator for? Well, a couple things. We use the compound calculator to calculate out what kind of numbers we need to do in order to maybe retire and become a full-time trader. I like to call that a freedom number. There's a whole bunch of things that we can do with this, but the most thing that we can do with it is we add this to our trading plan, okay? We add this to our trading plan so that we have a structure to our trading and we have the most opportunity to be successful. Now, when we look at this right here, I'm going to show you from the HFX side, we talked about the idea of 2.8% per day. If I had a $100 account and I got 2.8% per day, what does it look like? Well, if I was trading for 250 days out the year, I know I'm not going to be perfect. So let's just say I said 200 days, 210 days, something like that. What would it look like? So I can go over here and say 210 days. That gives me some grace, right? I'm not going to base my plan off of perfection because more than likely, I'm not going to be perfect. More than likely, there's going to be a day where the market moves differently than it has been. More than likely, there's going to be a day where I'm sick or my children are sick and I don't have focus, right? More than likely, there's going to be a day that something happens in my life that I'm going to lose a couple trades or I'm not going to be focused. So I don't want to build my plan off perfection. So when I come on here, I look at this, boom, I don't include weekends. And now if I were to calculate it, my $100 in the first year would go to $33,000. Now, here's what I like to do to even simplify it even more, is I like to take this same idea, and if I had 2.8% per day, I like to change it to a weekly goal, okay? A weekly goal, which puts me at 14% for the week. And then instead of a daily length of term in days, I change it to weeks, and I calculate out the same thing, and you'll see this number is going to be a little different, okay? Because this assumes also, again, that you accomplish the goal every week, okay? So here's what I'm saying. This is going to give you a platform. Now watch this. You can now come here and you can literally print this out, send it to yourself, and now you have something to shoot for. At the end of every day, or at the end of every week, as long as my account grows $14 on week 1, I can now cross out week 1. I can now cross out week 2 if I begin to grow. Week 3, it's literally telling you what your account has to be before you can progress to the next week. It's giving you a target, something to shoot for. And that is going to help you guys out dramatically. If you want to do the daily, you can print it out on the daily side of things. What does it look like on a daily? How much do I need to get each day? Okay, but I like weekly. And now I know where I got to go. Now look at that. Did I become a millionaire? No. No, I didn't. Okay, but if I did this over 2 to 3 years, you would see that the numbers would become absolutely ridiculous. Okay, absolutely ridiculous. And absolutely built off of math with no hype. No hype. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Because this is important. Because in this time in our company, we also, even though we love our customers who just want to be customers, there's a movement right now going on worldwide, the worldwide people's movement. It's called the cryptocurrency movement, where we're trying to allow our loved ones to take advantage of this before the wealth transfer is done. There's a window of time, and there's a lot of us right now who are out here, and we're sharing this not to build a huge network marketing company, not for us to hit all of the residuals. Now, some of us, like myself, I want to go Chairman 750. You're going to pay me my $8 million, $9 million a year. I'm excited about that opportunity. I want to have that kind of impact. But the majority of people don't. But the majority of people still right now feel a need to share this. And what does this do? Why is this thing so important? Because if I'm on a plan, I can now have a different level of confidence. If I'm on a plan, when I talk to somebody, I don't have to be scared of their criticism. When I'm on a plan, I can go to the Thanksgiving dinner and hold my head high when my family says, "Are you still doing that thing?" You see, that's what it is. It's the fear of rejection from your loved ones that you don't want to talk to people. It's not that you don't like talking to people. That's what it is. And everywhere else, you didn't have a plan, or everywhere else, your plan was based off of mythical, based off of, if I put in this many people, if my team grows to 7,000, I'm going to make 4,000. All of it was based off conjecture. But now your plan is based off of math. See, now when you talk to people and they tell you, "Oh, what have you done so far?" Man, let me tell you something. If you're 2 weeks in and you've grown by $29, you better look them straight in the eye and say, "I grew 29% in 2 weeks. I'm following a plan that over the course of the year, over the next 50 weeks, this is where I'm going to be." What kind of plan you working, sucker? Because most people is out here without a plan, but they want to criticize you because you decided to get some information and put a financial plan into your life. You decided that you knew that you had enough vision to see that if already Bitcoin has $1 trillion market cap and already all the other coins that are available have a $600 billion market cap on top of that, that maybe there's something there, and that maybe it's not just this spooky stuff that people are talking about where people use it to buy drugs on the internet. You decided to say that there's something happening because now all of a sudden Apple is doing it, and PayPal is doing it, and Robinhood is doing it, and everybody's doing it. And so you decided to say, instead of, for the first time in my life, instead of being left on the sidelines and only being able to react to it after it already happened, you decided, "I'm going to get in the game early. I'm going to master this skill, and I am following a plan." I guarantee you, you better wake up, put some stiffness back in your back, and tell them you made $14 this week, because they made nothing. Nothing. And they don't have a plan. They don't have a community. They don't have someone teaching them risk management. They don't have Jessica teaching them how to put the MT4 in. They don't have leverage trading. They ain't got Kurt Cobain. They ain't got Nafis Khan. They ain't got nobody pouring into them on their financial literacy. Doesn't mean people don't care about them. So I want y'all to understand what you got. I want you to understand where you're at. I want you to understand what's happening right now. I want you to understand that if you follow that chart, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you take it out and you follow it day by day and you don't move it until you've crossed the next day off, there is nothing that can stop you from being a millionaire. You are a millionaire now. Your account just hasn't caught up. All you have to do is be consistent. That's it. If you ain't a millionaire yet, if there's never been a millionaire in your family, as of tonight, there is a millionaire in your family. That's the facts. That's the truth. That's why we get on here and pour ourselves out. You think Jessica needs to come on here and train y'all? You think Jessica at P1000 needs to be in here going through all this, taking time away, pouring into you guys? Or does she and her entire family already know how to go into the market and grab a bag every day? She don't have to be here. Dinesh doesn't have to be here. I don't have to be here. None of these people have to be here because we know how to trade. The reason that we are here is because at this point in history, it's the most important conversation that we can have. And we don't want to be on the island by ourselves. We don't want to just see our own families win. We want to be able to see everybody's family win that wants to participate in their own rescue. Everybody who says, hey, listen, man, listen, I want to be a part of this. I want to be able to do something. I see something here. Well, listen, here's the life raft. We want to be able to save everybody. Bro, let me tell you, one of my best boys, why I'm fired up about this, conversation. Someone I've known my entire life, the only person before Natifa who's on the call to ever join my business that I knew before the business in almost 20 years of doing this. When I introduced him to this concept, the guy was a couple months out of living in his car. 16 months later, he is now a multiple 5-figure trader on his way to 6 figures. You don't think that's impact? You don't think I wanted that for my friend? But guess what? I want it for every single one of you who are on this call. I want every single one of you to be able to experience the freedom that your definition of freedom is. My definition of freedom is I don't have to miss a moment for a little 5-year-old girl that came out of nowhere when I was 40 years old. I want to be able to take her around the world. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to say, I don't care that me and her mom didn't work out and that we got a divorce. She's missing her mom. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up and move to Orlando so that she can be near her mom, because that's what I want for her. I don't want to have to ask a boss permission. I don't want to have to do anything. I want to be able to do what I want with my life. And I don't know if that's you, but if it's you, you're in the right place. And tonight, as of right now, you understand that it's going to happen as long as you stay the course, because there's nothing stopping it except putting in the dang trade and following the math. Y'all with me? Who's with me right now? If you understand what I just said, throw some 7s in the chat. Perfect. All right, folks. I'm done with tonight's risk management class. I hope you guys got some value out of it. All right. I hope you guys understand. We'll do more. Each week we do something else, right? Eventually, there's going to be some absolute epic winners that we have on this team. We're probably going to take over this class for me because we got some heavy hitters coming along, some incredible traders. But you have to understand this. You have to understand it. All right. You need one account that you treat like your legacy. You need one account. You won't go risk your children. You ain't going to risk. They're like, you ain't going to tell them, just go cross the freeway, see if you make it. You ain't going to do that, right? You need one account, and you treat that one account. Now, what does that mean? Now, I know for all of us here, we're all part of Legacy Worldwide. There's a challenge going on right now, okay? Hey, man, that's my upline, Randy Webb. This dude is a beast trader. I love that dude. I trust that dude. I respect that dude. I spent time at his house. My daughter goes and plays with their kids, okay? This is my guy. Don't make that trading account that you start your sacred account. That account that you start with Randy Webb, go ahead and put that account and have that be some disposable income or some income that you're not looking to get back right away, and go ahead and trade that with a free heart. And go ahead and trade every day and get your daily gains. It's going to make a difference, okay? It's going to make a difference because we all want to get that victory. We all want to celebrate with Randy. We all want to celebrate with the team. Sacred account, other account. We got it? Everybody got it? Perfect. All right, folks, I'm done. Anybody got anything they want to share?